What's hard for us is not hard for Him because God makes it look easy. A walk in the park, a piece of cake, like shooting fish in a barrel. No sweat. Easy as pie, easy as 1, 2, 3. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Like stealing candy from a baby. Okay, so that last one was not very nice. But all of those phrases and idioms mean, as you might have guessed, that something is really easy. While on the other hand, words like difficult, complex, complicated, arduous, tough, challenging, and hard all mean that something is not so simple. Something is not quite so easy. But all those words are also relative terms, because what one person calls hard might not be so hard to somebody else. Just because you can't do it doesn't mean that I can't do it. And just because I can't do it doesn't mean that you can't do it. Because what's hard for some, others can make look easy. You ever been in school back in the day and you thought you understood something well while the teacher was teaching it? And you thought it made perfect sense during class. But then you got home by yourself and you started doing that homework and it all started looking like rocket science. Well, that's because the teacher made it look easy. Or you ever watched one of those home improvement shows or videos and they're building all kinds of beautiful furniture from scratch and whatnot, like it's nothing. But when you try to DIY do it yourself, all you end up making is a hot mess. Well, they should have had a disclaimer like, do not try this at home because we make this look easy. Or have you ever heard of Pinterest fails? Well, there's a whole lot of people out there that try to recreate things that they saw on Pinterest that don't end up looking nothing like the original. It's because the Pinterest artist made it look easier than it actually was. Or like in sports, they say that the best players often make the worst coaches because they can't get why you can't just do it like they do it. They don't get that they are so talented, so gifted, and so on another level that they can take what most could never do and just do it effortlessly. And it's like, no, everybody can't do what you do because everybody is not you. Likewise, there is no one like our God. There is no one like the Lord of heaven and earth. No one like the Lord of all creation. Only God is God, and only God can do what God does. The God who's on a different level than everything and everyone else. The God who can do the impossible effortlessly. The God who performs miracles, signs, and wonders with ease. Genesis 1:3 says, and God said, let there be light. And there was light. Genesis 1:9. Then God said, let the waters under the sky be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. Just like that, our awesome God made the creation of the whole world look easy by just speaking to it. Just like he simply spoke to the storm in our text. Near the end of Matthew 8, Jesus got into a boat and the disciples followed him. When suddenly a furious storm arose out on the lake, but Jesus remained asleep. He remained at rest. He remained at ease. So the disciples frantically ran to him, pleading, Lord, save us, or we are going to drown. And Jesus answers in verse 26 saying, you of little faith, why are you so afraid? Then he got up, rebuked the winds and the waves, and it was completely calm. Something that was strong enough to terrify them, powerful enough to drown them, and potent enough to take them out was nothing for the master of the sea. He simply spoke to the raging winds, spoke to the crashing waves, and at the sounding of his voice, immediately everything was still. Because the waves recognized that voice as the same voice from Genesis 1. Yes, God in the flesh, Jesus Christ, made it look easy. So much so that Matthew 8:27 says, the men were amazed and asked, what kind of man is this? Even the winds and the waves obey him. You ever been there? You ever had a time in your life when God stepped in, when God came through for you and just left you astonished, just left you speechless, just left you standing there with your jaw dropped like who but God can do such things as these? Your unattainable is his cakewalk. Your unachievable is his walk in the park. Your unreachable is like nothing for him. Your impossible is no sweat for God. Jesus shows us that all it takes is faith in him for him to step in and easily, effortlessly make everything all right. Like the songwriter said, trouble in my way, and I may have to cry sometimes, but I know Jesus, he will fix it after a while. When something is too hard for you, there is nothing too hard for God because God makes it all look easy. Jesus says in Luke 18:27, what is impossible with man is possible with God. Jeremiah 32:27 says, I am the Lord, the God of all mankind. Is anything too hard for me? Ephesians 3:20, now to him who is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all we can ask or think, according to the power that works in us. You see, the great thing about our God is that when you call on him, he's able to do even more than what you asked him for. He's able to do more than what you prayed for. For when you call on El Shaddai, the Lord God Almighty, concerning your circumstance, it's like calling on a fire truck to put out a birthday candle, like calling on a tank to stop a fist fight, like calling on a fighter jet to catch a housefly. So whatever your challenge, whatever your dilemma, whatever your problem you are facing in your life, look to the Master, look to Jesus by faith, then let go and let God make it look easy.